Good morning, my dear students, and welcome back to our physics class. And we can quickly go to our classes. That is, in the previous class, that is, in the last class, we have discussed about some natural phenomena, that is, how the rainbows are formed and how the twinkling of stars happen. Right? Okay, so how the rainbows are formed? It is due to dispersion, not only dispersion inside the water droplets, dispersion and internal reflection and refraction, all that things associated with the formation of rainbow, right? And then we have already discussed the atmospheric diffraction, atmospheric refraction. Sorry, atmospheric refraction means, yeah, the refraction of light by the atmospheric layers, right? Okay, so due to the atmospheric refraction, what happens? Twinkling of light, twinkling of stars happens, and earlier sunrise and delayed sunset, all these things comes under the phenomena atmospheric refraction, right? Okay, so now we are going to discuss. Now we are going to discuss about a new thing, that is that you may be familiar with this. That is scattering of light. Okay. So what do you mean by scattering of light? Scattering you may study in your earlier classes. Scattering of light. Okay. So what do you mean by scattering of light? Yeah, scattering is nothing but the spreading of light. That is, the light spreads up. That is, spreading of light as a result of collision with the particles of the medium. So when a light travels through a medium, the medium contains too many particles, right? So the spreading of light when the light collides with the particles of the medium. Okay. So the light, sunlight comes from sun to earth. The way of this sunlight, it has to travel along, right? So the atmospheric layers and atmospheric particles, there are too many particles in our atmosphere, right? So the light is, collide with the particles of the atmosphere. Then what happens? The light spreads. Spreading of light happens. That is scattering. Okay. So scattering is nothing but the spreading of light when it collides with the particles of the medium. Okay. So that is scattering of light. Due to these phenomena, the scattering of light, the blue sky, our skies appear as blue, and the water, deep water, have blue color. Deep sea water is in blue color, right? And the reddening of sun at sunrise and sunset, all these things that happens due to the scattering of light. Okay, so please go through your textbook. That is, the interplay of light with the objects around us give rise to several spectacular phenomena in nature. The blue color of the eye, blue color of the sky, color of water in deep sea, the reddening of sun at sunrise and sunset are some of the wonderful phenomena we are familiar with, right? In the previous class, you have learned about the scattering of light by colloidal particles. The path of beam light passing through a true solution is not visible. So it is said that you may you have to study scattering, or you studied scattering in your previous classes, right? Even though you are not remembering that, we can study it now. Okay, so scattering happens when the light collides with the with the particles of the medium, right? Okay, so a true solution, when the light passes through a true solution, we cannot obtain the, or we cannot see the path of light. That is, the true solution having minute particles which are not distinctly, we cannot see the particles distinctly, right? Okay, so when a light passes through a true solution, it is not visible to us. That is, we cannot able to say that the light is passing through that solution. Okay, that is, the way is not visible to us. Okay. But however, its path become visible through a colloidal solution where the size of the particle is relatively larger. So the colloidal solution means the particles of this media having some higher size, right? We can see the particles inside that solution. Colloidal solution means some particles may be spread in that solution, and that maybe the particle size is somewhat small, but we can see that. But in the true solution, the particle size is too small, that is minute particle. We cannot see the particles of true solution with our naked eyes. But in a colloidal solution, we can see the particles. Even though it is small particles, but that particles spread in that solution, and we can see that colloidal particles. Okay. And also the path of light when it passes through a colloidal solution, that is visible to us, right? Okay. So that is how what is scattering. And Tyndall effect is due to this scattering of light. Tyndall effect is one phenomenon that is associated with the scattering of light. Okay, so now we can see what is Tyndall effect. Okay, so read that in your textbook, page number 195. The Earth's atmosphere is a heterogeneous mixture of minute particles. So that you know, our atmosphere has so many particles, and it is a heterogeneous mixture of minute particles. There may be gas particles and dust particles and some other different gases are there, right? Okay, so there are too many particles. These particles include smoke, tiny water droplets, suspended particles of dust, and molecules of air. All these contribute to this atmosphere, right? Okay, so when a beam of light strikes such a fine particles, the path of beam become visible, right? So the beam of light, when it strikes on these minute particles or these heterogeneous particle, what happens? The path of this light can be visible, right? Okay. So when a beam of light strikes such fine particles, the path of beam become visible. The light reaches us after being reflected diffusely by these particles. The phenomenon of scattering of light by the colloidal particle give rise to Tyndall effect. Okay, so what do you mean by Tyndall effect? Okay, what do you mean by Tyndall effect? Yeah, it is the scattering of light, the phenomenon of scattering of light by colloidal particles give rise to Tyndall effect, which you have studied in your earlier classes. That is Tyndall effect. What is Tyndall effect? The phenomenon is seen when a fine beam of sunlight enters a smoke-filled room through a small hole. That is, when sun rises, then we can see the beam of sunlight coming through a small opening of our window. We can see some dust particles are flying over that light, right? Okay, so that is how the light is coming through that is small tiny hole, and we can see the path of that light also, right? That path is visible as the size shape of that tiny hole, right? Okay, so that means the phenomenon is seen when a fine beam of sunlight enters a smoke-filled room through a small hole. The scattering of light makes the particle visible. So there are too many particles are there. So the particles, when the light beam strikes on these particles, scattering occurs. Due to this scattering, we can see the way of or path of that light. Okay. So Tyndall effect can also be observed when sunlight passes through a canopy of the dense forest. Here tiny water droplets in the mist scatter light. Okay, so canopy means the ഈ ഡെൻസ് ഫോറസ്റ്റിന്റെ മുകളിൽ ഉള്ള ആകാശം, അതാണ് കനോപ്പി എന്നൊക്കെ കൊണ്ട് ഉദ്ദേശിക്കുന്നത്, വിധാനം എന്നൊക്കെ നമ്മൾ പറയും. ഓക്കെ, സോ Tyndall effect can also be observed when light passes through a canopy of dense forest. Here, tiny water droplets in the mist scatter light. This you may see in so many sceneries. That means, and it is somewhat a beautiful picture also, right? നമ്മൾ ഡെൻസ് ഫോറസ്റ്റിലൊക്കെ ഇടയിൽ കൂടെ ലൈറ്റ് വരുന്നത് നമ്മൾ ഒരുപാട് പിക്ചേഴ്സിൽ, ഒരുപാട് ഫോട്ടോസിൽ നമ്മൾ സീനറി ആയിട്ട് കാണാറുണ്ടല്ലോ അല്ലേ? അതെങ്ങനെയാന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ ഈ സൺലൈറ്റ് വരുന്ന സമയത്ത് രാത്രിയിലെ മഞ്ഞുതുള്ളികളും അതുപോലെ ടൈനി വാട്ടർ ഡ്രോപ്ലെറ്റ്സ് ഒക്കെ അന്തരീക്ഷത്തിൽ തങ്ങി നിൽക്കുന്നുണ്ടാവും. സോ വെൻ ലൈറ്റ് ഫാൾസ് ഓൺ ദാറ്റ് ടൈനി ഡ്രോപ്ലെറ്റ്സ്, വാട്ടർ ഡ്രോപ്ലെറ്റ്സ്, what happens? Scattering occurs there, right? So due to that scattering we are able to see the path of that light. We are able to, the light's way or light's path is visible to us. Okay, so this is how scattering happens. As scattering happens, then we can see the path of light through which it is coming. Okay, the color of scattered light depends on the size of the scattering particles. So the color of scattered light depends on the size of the scattering particles. So the light when hits on a bigger particle, what happens? Very fine particles scatter mainly blue light, while particles of larger size scatter light having longer wavelength. So we know the visible light constituting the VIBGYOR. That means we can see VIBGYOR in our rainbow. That is here. This is the increasing order of wavelength. Wavelength we represent using lambda, right? So red have higher wavelength, and this region, violet, indigo, blue, this region having lower wavelength, right? So the fine particles, smaller particles will scatter the light having smaller wavelength, right? Okay, so that is fine particles. Very fine particles scatter mainly blue light, while the particles of larger size scatter long wavelength. That is, larger particles scatter this kind of lights, that is red, orange, this having comparatively higher wavelength. Okay, so larger particles scatter red light. Okay, and if the size of the scattering particle is large enough, the scattered light may even appear white. So if the scattering particles having a larger size, then the light may appear as white. White means all the colors are together constitute white light, right? Okay, so one more thing, scattering is inversely proportional to our wavelength. So this red having higher wavelength, so it will be least scattered light. Red light is least scattered light, and violet, indigo, blue, in this region the light is most scattered lights are coming here, right? So red light is least scattered. That means scattering is inversely proportional to wavelength. When wavelength increases, that means that light scattered least. Due to this reason, we know the signboards, the danger signboards, like that things are what given in red color, right? So the reflector, if here the danger sign, this reflector is in the color red. Okay, that is this red light scatter least. It will have least scattering, so that the observer or the driver or any person who can see the red signal from a longer distance. Okay, that is this here the scattering is least in the case of red light. That is in our visible region, red light having the most higher wavelength. Okay, so that is how the the scattering depends on wavelength. Okay, so now we are going to find why the color of our clear sky become blue. You know, our sky, if there is no if it is a sunny day, the sky may look like bluish color. Okay, so why is the color of clear sky become blue? Then we are going to discuss. That is that it is also due to scattering. Okay, so the molecules of air and other fine particles in the atmosphere have size smaller than the wavelength of visible light. Okay, so the molecules of air and other fine particles in the atmosphere have a size smaller than the wavelength of visible light. So visible lights nekkalum smaller wavelength aanu nammala atmosphere illa air particles adupole dust particles okay. So these having smaller size when compared with the wavelength of or visible light. Okay, so these are more effective in scattering light of shorter wavelength. Okay, so small fine particles will scatter the smaller wavelength. That we have already said that fine particles scatter the blue light and larger particles scatter the red light. Okay, so these fine particles that is found in atmosphere, that is air particles and small dust particles having size less than that of the wavelength of our visible light. So they scatter shorter wavelength, that is at the blue end of our visible light. So these particles may scatter the blue end colors, right, than that of the red end. This having higher wavelength, it is having higher wavelength, so smaller particles cannot scatter these red orange like that colors. Okay, so the red light has a wavelength of about 1.8 times greater than blue light. Okay, so wavelength of red is too much higher than that of blue light. And also the small particles of atmosphere are more effective in scattering the light of shorter wavelength at the blue end than that of the longer wavelength at the red end. Okay, so thus the sunlight passes through the atmosphere. The fine particles in air scatter the blue color, that is shorter wavelength color, the blue color more strongly than red. Okay, so when the light comes through or when the sunlight comes through our atmosphere, what happens? The atmospheric particles, the fine particles scatter the blue lights of this visible light, blue end of this visible light. They scatter this blue end more than that of red end, right? Okay, so the scattered blue light enters to our eye. Okay, so that scattered blue light enters into our eye. That is why the sky is blue in color, right? That is red color and the red parts, these colors are not scattered. Okay, so that may not reach into our eyes. Okay, so if the earth has no atmosphere, then what happens? What would be the result? There would not have been any scattering. If there is no atmosphere, means there is no atmospheric particles, there is no fine particles, all there vacuum. There is no particles. So there is no particle means there is no scattering happens, right? Okay. So then what happens? Then the sky would be look dark. No particles are there, and there is no scattering happens. So the sky would look like dark. Okay. And the sky appears dark to the passengers flying at very high altitudes. This is because as the scattering is not prominent at such heights. So the passengers flying at very high may feel the sky is dark because at that height scattering is not that much prominent. There is a less scattering happens, so that they cannot feel that it is bluish in color. They feel like the sky is dark in color. That is, the scattering is less in such heights. Okay. So you might have observed that danger signal lights are red in color. So danger signal lights are red in color due to that red is least scattered light, right? Okay, red having most high wavelength, and this is least scattered light. Okay, so the red is least scattered by fog or smoke. Therefore, it can be seen in the same color at a distance. So it can be seen in same color at a distance. Okay, so that the observer can identify there is something danger, and he can see this color from a long distance. Okay, so that is why the danger signals are given in red color. Okay, and that is why our skies are blue in color. It is due to scattering of light by small particles found in atmosphere. Okay, so that is small fine particles mostly scatter the bluish colors. Okay, so that scattered lights comes to our eyes. That is why we can able to see the sky as blue. Okay, and now we are going to discuss how the color of sunset, that means the color of the sun at sunrise and sunset become red. How it become red? That is, at the time of sunrise we feel or we can see the sun, that is a full sun may be seen as red in color, dark red in color, right? And also at the time of sunset also we can see the sun as much beautiful, that is it is dark red in color. Okay, so how it is dark red in color, and when we see the sun, that means at noon time or evening time, how we can feel? Yeah, it may we will see the sun. We cannot directly look into the sun, even though we can identify that the sun is not that much red in color, right? Okay, so what is the color? Yeah, it is somewhat like some faint yellow, or it is similar to a white color, right? Okay, so how it becomes, or how the sun become white or a faint yellow in noon, at the time of noon, or how it becomes a red color in time of sunset and time of sunrise. That is also due to this scattering of light. So how it comes, we can see here you have an activity. So this activity needs this activity needs sulfuric acid and sodium thiosulfate, and the two converging lenses, that is two convex lenses, we have to do this activity using all these things. So we can go through this activity, we cannot do this activity in this class. That means in our online class we cannot do this activity as practically. Okay, so if you come to a regular class, then we can do all these activities in our lab. Okay, so you just go through the activity. That is, place a strong source of white light at the focus of converging lens L1. This lens provides a parallel beam of light. So place a converging lens L1, and behind that we have a strong source of white light, and white light is passing through the converging lens, that is convex lens L1, and allow the beam to pass through a transparent glass tank containing clear water. So in between this L1, that is, we have to find two converging lenses, two convex lenses. One is just in front of the source, that is white source, and another one is when we take water in a clear water in a transparent tank, then allow the beam to pass through the circular hole made in a cardboard, obtain a sharp image on the circular hole on a screen using a second converging lens. So there should be two converging lenses. One is one side of this clear tank, and another next the opposite side of that tank, right? Okay. So we can make the image of this, that obtain sharp image of the circular hole on a screen using second converging lens as shown in figure 11.11. Here it is given the arrangement. That is, the arrangement is just, the arrangement is just like, here you have a source of light, and here you have a converging lens. Okay, this is a convex lens, and light beams, then it allowed to pass through a transparent tank containing clear water, and it is then allowed to pass through a hole made in a cardboard, and then again it goes through a converging lens L2 and make a screen here and make the image, that is, make the image here. Okay, so here will be the image formed. Okay, so this is the arrangement. Okay, this is the arrangement, and now dissolve about 200 gram of sodium thiosulfate in about 2 liters of clean water taken in the tank. So here we taken clean water and add 200 gram of sodium thiosulfate. Sodium thiosulfate is a chemical which having no color, it's colorless in nature. Okay, so add 200 gram of sodium thiosulfate in about 2 liters of clean water taken in the tank, and add about 1 to 2 ml of concentrated sulfuric acid to the water. Okay, so here we add sodium thiosulfate is having a formula Na2S2O3. Okay, Na2S2O3. This is sodium thiosulfate, and another thing we have to add here is H2SO4, sulfuric acid, right? So what we get from this? Yeah, here Na2SO4 plus SO2 plus sulfur plus water. Okay, so this is the products formed here, right? So here these sulfur particles suspend in this solution, right? So you find 5 microscopic sulfur particles precipitating in about 2 to 3 minutes. So when these sodium thiosulfate and sulfuric acid combines together or react together, then there will be the formation of sulfur particles, right? Okay, so these sulfur particles are suspended or precipitating in about 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, as the sulfur particles begin to form, you can observe the blue light from the three sides of the glass tank. That means when the sulfur particles are precipitating means there is some the clear water will not have any particles that is visible to us, right? But even if there is no even if there is some particles, but we cannot see the particles, right? That is particle size is too small, microscopic particles are there. But when this reaction happens, the sulfur particles are formed that is somewhat having some larger size than that of this true solution, right? Okay, so when the light is hitting light beam hit on these sulfur particles, what happens? Scattering happens. That means we can see the path of this light. Okay, so we can see the path of this light, and this is due to the scattering of short wavelength by minute colloidal sulfur particles. Okay, that is the shorter wavelength is scattered by these sulfur particles. And observe the color of the transmitted light from the fourth side of the glass tank facing the circular hole. It is interesting to observe the first the orange red color and then the bright crimson red color on the screen. So this experiment we have to do. We are not able to do now, but we have to do this experiment. Then only we can get the clear observation. We can get the clear idea about this scattering, how the wavelength dependent on this particle size, and how the smaller wavelengths scattered by the particles and larger wavelengths scattered by the particles, like that things. Okay, so now here it is interesting to observe the first the orange red color and then the bright crimson red color on the screen comes. That means the higher sized particles, if the sulfur is precipitating as higher sized or larger sized particles, then what happens? The larger wavelength, that is red light and orange light, red and orange lights will scatter more. Okay. That is, this activity demonstrates that the scattering of light that helps you to understand the bluish color of sky and the reddish appearance of the sun at the sunrise and the sunset. Okay, so bluish color of sky we have already discussed, this minute particles. That means when the sulfur particles, here the sulfur particle precipitating, at that time small particle scatter the bluish color light. When it is when it aggregates, that is when it forms larger particles, then it scatter red light, orange light, the light having higher wavelength. തുടക്കത്തിൽ small particles bluish കളറിനെയൊക്കെ സ്കാറ്റർ ചെയ്യും. Then particle size increase ചെയ്യുന്നതോടുകൂടി what happens? The wavelength കൂടുതലുള്ള ലൈറ്റ്സിനെ ഇത് സ്കാറ്റർ ചെയ്യാൻ തുടങ്ങും. Okay. So light from the sun near the horizon passes through thicker layer of air and larger distance on the Earth's atmosphere before reaching our eyes. So how the sun becomes red when it is that is rising up, and at the time of sunset also. Okay, so that is light from the sun near the horizon passes through thick layers of air. So the sunset and sunrise we have already discussed in the atmospheric refraction. That means if here is the horizon, here we see that sun is here, means the sun is above the horizon, and this is daytime. That when it is settled down, that means at the time of sunset the sun is below the horizon, right? So at these times what happens? The light from the sun near the horizon passes through thicker layer of air and larger distance in the Earth's atmosphere before reaching our eyes. However, light from the sun overhead would travel relatively shorter distances, right? At noon, the sun appears white as only a little of the blue and violet colors are scattered. So at the time of noon time, what happens? It has to travel a shorter distance, right? When sun is nearly overhead means the blue and violet colors are scattered. That means lower wavelength colors are scattered. Okay, so it appears white as only the little of blue and violet colors are scattered. Blue and violet colors കുറച്ചേ scatter ചെയ്ത് പോകുന്നുള്ളൂ, right? So they may appears as white. And near the horizon, most of the blue light and shorter wavelength are scattered away by the particle. Therefore, the light that reaches our eyes is of longer wavelength. So when it is the time of sunset and sunrise, what happens? Blue and bluish colors, bluish range colors, Vibgyorne blue range colors, most of these colors scattered. Wavelength koranya, most of the colors scattered. Then the red light, the higher wavelength having the colors having higher wavelength only reaches to our eyes at the time of sunrise and sunset. Okay. ബാക്കിയുള്ള ലൈറ്റ്സ് എല്ലാം സ്കാറ്റർ ചെയ്ത് പോകും. വേവ് കൂടിയ ലൈറ്റ്സ് മാത്രമേ അത്രയും ഡിസ്റ്റൻസിൽ ഹൊറൈസണിന്റെ അടുത്തായിരിക്കുമ്പോൾ അത്രയും ഡിസ്റ്റൻസിൽ നമ്മളെ കണ്ണിലേക്ക് എത്താൻ പറ്റുള്ളൂ. ഓക്കെ, സോ ദാറ്റ് ഈസ് വൈ the sun appears reddish in color. Okay, so therefore the light that reaches our eyes is of longer wavelength. This gives rise to the reddish appearance of sun. Okay, so here it is reddening of sun at sunrise and sunset is giving the figure 11.12. That is observer. Here we have earth and here is an observer is here, right? Okay, and here we have atmospheric layer. Okay, so when the sun is overhead, what happens? Less blue colors are scattered. വളരെ കുറച്ച് ബ്ലൂ കളേഴ്സ്, ബ്ലൂ ആൻഡ് ബ്ലൂയിഷ് കളേഴ്സ്, ബ്ലൂ വയലറ്റ് ഇൻഡിഗോ ആ കളേഴ്സ് കുറച്ച് സ്കാറ്റർ ചെയ്ത് പോകുന്നുള്ളൂ, റൈറ്റ്? And what happens in the case of sun at horizon? If sun at horizon, what happens? All the blue and violet indigo colors are scattered. Then what happens? Higher wavelength ulla reddish colors മാത്രമേ ഒബ്സർവറിലേക്ക് റീച്ച് ചെയ്യുന്നുള്ളൂ. Okay, so that the red color of sun comes. Okay, so that is how the sun become reddish in color during the time of sunrise and sunset. Okay, so this is all about our chapter human eye and the colorful world. Okay, so the deleted portion we will discuss later. Okay, so now we completed. So you just go through the summary of the chapter, what you have learned. Okay, and you should read the textbooks thoroughly, and we have to conduct a test paper on this chapter next the coming week. Okay, so I will inform you the time and date of exam. Okay, so you please study well. Okay, children, so hope you clear all this chapter, and if you have any doubts you can ask me. Okay, so we are going to wind up today. We can meet in the next class. Thank you.